All right, there we go. It's working. I've just tried to go live about 3 or 4 times in a row. Now it's finally gone through, and I can see you guys are being petty whiners over 180 seconds because, it's late. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome. I hope we're all doing good. Yeah, we're back to Guild Wars 1. I was going to do a video advertising this, but I don't know. I kind of don't want to spam it too much, so maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, so basically I'm going to go get some coffee, going to go sort some stuff out. I've had a really cool idea for the videos, which I'm trying to scrabble through, but it involves an intimate knowledge of an area of... so you guys know I'm a big fan of Google Drive and everything that really Google offers through it, like Google Docs and so on. I'm messing for the first time with Google Slides, which might be able to help me in some weird ways with the LP, so that should be pretty cool. I'm actually in the middle of uploading as well an LP episode. It's got 10 minutes remaining, chaps. Now, currently, I'm streaming and uploading, and we've dropped 0 frames. So, if we can bear with 10 minutes of lag, 10, oh, there we go, we just dropped 20 for the first time. If we can bear with 10 minutes of lag, what we could do is YouTube will process the Let's Play video while we're live, and you guys can roll straight from the stream into the LP, and it will be wonderful and amazing. But that first 10 minutes might be a little bit wobbly, so we'll have to see. Yeah, I think that's mostly it. I do have another interesting thing that I guess just before I go. It's got nothing to do with Guild Wars. It's got nothing to do with anything. I was watching a video. Basically, I learned a new word today, all right? I learned about the phenomenon which... I think most humans deal with this in their lives. How do we pronounce this? Epistemological problem? Epistemological. All right. If you guys have heard of an epistemological problem, I'll teach you about it now. Right. It's really cool. It's gonna sound super pretentious of me. Let me give you the Google definition before I rant out my own. Let's see. Epistemological, relating to the theory of knowledge, especially with regards to its methods, validity, and scope, and the distinction between justified belief and opinion. All right, okay. Now I know this all sounds a bit heavy, but it's just basically a cool anecdote. I'm reading in the YouTube comments from a guy called Lou Adrand. So I found my way today to a Richard Feynman video. Where an interviewer is asking him in his old age, Feynman sat back on a chair, and an interviewer is asking him, hey, I get 2 magnets in my hand, I push them together, and I feel something. I feel a force there. What is that force? And Feynman looks almost like annoyed and a little bit baffled, and he stumbles over his words. He doesn't know how to respond to the question, and the interviewer gets a little bit frustrated and says, well, hold on, I think this is a fairly reasonable, normal question for me to be asking. What's the big deal? And Feynman goes off on this huge tangent, and basically Feynman goes on a discussion about how people need a baseline of understanding to be able to have a discussion and get a satisfactory answer to the question of why. Why do the magnets repel? Well, he says, I have to assume you don't have any education in the fields that would require, that we'd need as a baseline to talk about it. So what do you want me to do? Just spit out some really basic explanation for you? Does that satisfy why? In all likelihood, it's not going to be interesting enough to you, and there'll be other questions. And he gives an example. He basically says, to give another example, a woman slips on the ice, so she goes to the hospital. Now, that makes sense to us as humans, but if you're saying that to an alien, the alien will say, well, why did you have to go to the hospital? And you kind of have to explain what a hospital is and why it's important. And they might say, well, why did the husband do it? And then you have to explain, well, hold on, because the husband is the guy that cares about his wife. And, there's a lot of unspoken understanding there. Once you're in the framework of being a human that knows what ice is and knows what wives and husbands are and hospitals are, you can answer the question and get a satisfactory why. But until you have all of the pieces in place, how is that really possible? And it's a brilliant example he gives as well in the video. This is just Feynman in the video. He talks about, you can ask about the social sides of it like that. But then there's also, okay, well, so what, she slipped on the ice. Why did she slip on the ice? Oh, well, you can start then talking about balance and human capability to traverse the environment. You can start talking about gravity. You can start talking about the qualities of ice and how, water is actually quite an interesting thing in the way it expands as it becomes a solid, which means when we apply pressure to it, like from under our feet, it melts ever so slightly and becomes very slippery. Not all solids are as slippery as ice is, as we find, as water is, as we find ice becomes at temperatures we understand. As you know, he goes on about all of this, and then it finally comes back to the question. He's like, so you asked me why two magnets push together. What can I tell you? And so anyway, that was basically the question. That was the video. And so here's a really cool anecdote. Basically, someone in the comments, Lou Andrand, says, what we're talking about here, what Feynman is dealing with, is an epistemological problem. Basically, the idea is that the understanding... Well, I'll reread from Google for you. This is relating to the theory of knowledge, especially with regard to its methods, validity, and scope, and the distinction between justified belief and opinion. And I come across this all the time. This is where I'm going to start sounding arrogant or whatever, but, you know, we all will. If you have quite kind of a niche line of work and your grandma asks what you do, you kind of have that problem. Like, you've got to boil away most of the flavor of your answer to really give an explanation, and it doesn't quite count. When someone comes to one of my streams and says, why does the loot in Guild Wars 2 feel bad? I'm a WoW player. Not that really happens, but variations of that happen all the time. It's like, you know, we can suddenly be thrust into a very deep subject. It's like, well, how can I give you a good answer without really getting into the nitty-gritty of how Guild Wars 2 works or whatever? But here's what I was just interested in this, and here's what the YouTube comment says. He says, there's an anecdote he's got, a supposedly well-known one about Einstein, okay? An apocryphal story about Einstein. Okay, and now I'm just going to quote his comment, right? The story I'll even put it on screen for you all because it's beautiful. And I really, really, really like this story. I don't know, it just tickled me in the right way, and I thought it was cool, so I'm going to see if you guys get tickled in the right way, because hell, the stream hasn't started yet, and this is the kind of nonsense I enjoy. Here we go. I'm going to put it on screen for you all. Just remove that old straw poll that we had before. Let's see here. No, that is not the right image. Where are you? There you go. Okay, so here's the YouTube message here. It's going to look like a wall of text, but don't worry, we'll get through it quickly. So we're a couple of sentences into the first paragraph if you want to follow along. This story shows how complex Einstein could be. Not long after his arrival in Princeton, he was invited by the wife of one of the professors of mathematics at Princeton to be guest of honor at tea. Reluctantly, Einstein consented. After the tea had progressed for a time, the excited hostess, thrilled to have such an eminent guest of honor, fluttered out into the center of activity and with raised arms silenced the group. Bubbling out some words expressing her thrill and pleasure, she turned to Einstein and said, "I wonder, Dr. Einstein, if you would be so kind as to explain to my guests in a few words just what is relativity theory?" Without any hesitation, Einstein rose to his feet and told a story. He said it was reminded of a walk he one day had with his blind friend. The day was hot, and he turned to the blind friend and said, "I wish I had a glass of milk." "Glass," replied the blind friend. "I know what that is, but what do you mean by milk?" "Why, milk is a white fluid," explained Einstein. "Now, fluid. I know what that is," said the blind man. "But what is white?" "Oh, white is the colour of a swan's feathers." "Feathers. Now I know what they are. But what is a swan?" "A swan is a bird with a crooked neck." "Neck, I know what that is. But what do you mean by crooked?" At this point, Einstein said he lost his patience. He seized his blind friend's arm and pulled it straight. "There, now your arm is straight," he said. Then he bent the blind friend's arm at the elbow. "Now it is crooked." "Ah," said the blind friend. "Now I know what milk is." And Einstein at the tea sat down. Alright, we're going to get started now. All right. Almost forgot to turn my mic on there. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope we're doing good. Do we want to read a bit more of the Empire Divided today? I reckon it'd be a fun way to start some of these streams. We can learn a bit about Xingjie, maybe. An Empire Divided. It is a great, great, great resource. Let's see. What do I want to grab? We read the forewords. Do we want to learn about the Imperial line, noted emperors of Cantha, major events? I mean, the timeline section is bloody huge, to be honest. Cantha today, the Kurziks, the Luxons, the Legacy, the Day of the Jade Wind. Well, maybe we can wait a little bit with it. Let's wait just a little bit before we go back to more Empire Divided. Can you join? You need to be carried? Absolutely. I'm really excited about this. By the way, just BT dubs. I'm really excited to see how many players we'll still have and who are the right level and stuff. It's going to be amazing. I really hope to see lots of party invites come in. All right, sorry. I'm on the Guild Wars 1 wiki reading an Empire Divided right now. Not really doing very good looking at chat. Let me get notifications up as well. We're destined to slowly get less and less and less of them over these streams, so hopefully I won't be a baddie and miss them all. So first of all, actually there were a couple today. Skelapire just did Prime for 11 months in a row. Skelapire, that's awesome. One more month, dude, and you'll be a year. That's awesome. Steam McGee, first month of Prime. It's great to see you. Thank you so much for that. That was right during the intro. And Friendly Bobo for 15 months as well. Thank you very, very, very much. Alotus, congratulations. Speaking of, just got his year. Nice, man. Congrats. That's awesome, dude. Very, very cool. All right, so yeah, let's get on in it. You guys should be able to hear the game. Just tell me if it's too loud, basically. Yeah, that's all I want confirmation of. If it's too loud, I will try and turn it down. Let's see who's here. Hey, Oxy, Yggdrasa, it's good to see you. Turtlemoji, Dargo, it's good to see everyone. All right, here we go. Let's get in game and see what we've got happening. Now, it's going to be a black screen just for a second because if you remember, we did a bonus stream in the middle of the week. It was a really weird one. Basically just a glorified LFG cry for help as I got people in to help me do the Shatterer. But it worked. So, but I mean, we'd been looking at Guild Wars 2, so I just had to swap that a little bit. Now, I do have Umod. I'm not advertising these streams as Umod streams without using it. So, behold the beauty of our skill bar and these fairly low resolution skill icons. All right. We'll recap what we had going on. This is going to be great, man. I love early game stuff in Guild Wars 1. We have these skill icons now. Let's add a mod, a texture pack, to buff the hell out of them and make them all look really pretty, shall we? High-res skill icons. Go. Oh, glorious. Look at that. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Where's my res sig, ArenaNet? Or the community. Could someone in the community touch up the res sig, please? Please, please, please. This does not have a high thing. What did I just de-slot there, by the way? It was Soul Feast, wasn't it, I think? Oh, so good. And then, also, I'm going to do clear skills. So here's another mod we're putting on now. Clear skills version 12. What did that do? I think what that does is, let's see, if I have, yeah, Death Nova. What clear skills does, let's turn it off and update it. Yeah, if you look, Death Nova has this triangle baked onto the icon, showing that it's an enchantment. And Clear Skills gets rid of all of that like fluff that would otherwise get in the way of the art. So you can see the full ring of the Death Nova now, the full orbit. You guys can't see my cursor for some reason. Why is my cursor not being captured? That's strange. Oh, there it is. And before anybody says, I know that the LP's not had it on lately. What else do we want to run? Here's another one. I don't know whether you guys will be interested in, but we're definitely going to do Winter's Day at Kaineng when we get it. However, what do you guys think of almost a taco style thing? I think this should be it here. If I press M to open my map now. Yeah. Oh, we got to run it. Do you see on my map? You see these red dots? What these red dots are doing is representing how to travel through the game. And like all the main missions and areas, it's got baked on there the optimum routes, and it will show you like where keys and things are. If you remember when we replayed Nightfall, we had that kind of hideous stream where we were at the Codner Crossroads, and it had been years since I've done it, and I couldn't remember where, like, one boss was, dropping one key, and we spent, like, God knows how long doing the most basic aspect of the game. Well, if I run this, we just kind of, we get easy mode, essentially. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see how it looks, so that's not open to you guys just yet, but we will see. It's kind of jokey-ish. Ranger is no skill, would like to trade. Okay. Oh, look, he's given us a compliment of dyes. Sweet. I guess we're going to look rainbow-coloured, guys. Sweet. Thank you for showing the trade window on this series as well. People deserve to see that. All right, what's going on? I'm level 8. Look at this. Doomfi over-leveled. Couldn't help it. Help himself. Ranger is no skill, over-leveled. Igni Westlog, you, my man. You at least stayed at the correct level, so you're a good lad. All right, here we go. So let's dye our stuff, shall we? All dye cannot be the same color. But a bit... Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Oh, I've got to talk about this, man. Dye mixing... Dye channels is nothing like in Guild Wars 2. That's so crazy to me that I just completely balked that. So, basically, you get one dye channel as far as Guild Wars 2 is concerned. When I choose to dye this head wrap, it will only ever dye the same areas of the texture, right? Like the devs have designated. And there's only one. That's it in this game. There's not like, oh, you can dye each individual jewel on there, and then the top of the head wrap is one color. Yeah, it's not like you get to do that, okay? That's what a dye channel means in Guild Wars 2. It's a different area of the gear to do it. But on Guild Wars 1, it's global. However, the difference is there aren't many dyes in the game. There's like instead of like tons to unlock and siphon off and sell on the gem store, instead you've got maybe a selection of 10 different dyes. You know, there's orange, there's purple, there's grey, there's green, there's white, there's black, there's pink. It's nothing fancy. The way that the channels work, though, you might wonder why there are 4 boxes then. If we put green and now we add purple, what it will do is mix the green and purple together, thus creating this shade, yeah? So you do have access to a ton of different colors, just like in Guild Wars 2. Here's orange and purple together. But you have to, and you can mix up to 4 times, yeah? This, by the way, is a refinement on the original system, early Prophecies days. What they actually had was you would mix the vials themselves together instead of in the UI in a preview area. So it was admittedly worse in the past, but you would actually physically mix them. And I remember one of my earliest memories of being excited about loot in this franchise was gold dye. Does anyone remember the excitement of gold dye? It wasn't as like expensive as black, but it was. I don't remember what its constituent parts were anymore. But the point of gold dye was it was kind of rare other dyes you had to mix together to get the vial of dye gold. And that was hot, man. I remember that so clearly, leaving Ascalon and being like, oh, I want to get some gold dye. Got to get the gold. Got to get gold. Honestly. No one's responding in chat either. This must be... I don't like the thought that this is becoming obscure, unknown trivia now. But that was a big memory for me. So anyway, Mr. Terrible at Fashion was too. What do I want to do? Well, let's just dye... Oh, and the sound effects, man. It's the weird areas of the game. Those sound... Like, listen to the dye. Oh, listen to this. Ready? I'm going to turn the game up. Listen. Oh, the nostalgia. That right there. And that, somebody opening trade. The nostalgia. Ah, it's just weird areas of the UI that get me more nostalgic than anything else in the game. Someone else is trading with us. Jesus. But yeah, we're going to be multicolored and freaking fantastic. We're going to be looking fabulous, people. Oh, that's the same color. All right, well, look, we can do it that way to get the color back. What is going on here? All right, listen, I do not want any of that. Thank you. I will have the Firewater for funsies if you really want, but we don't... Not a Q12 Sally Sword and a Q9 Guardian the Hunt and stuff. I'm okay with that, though. Thank you very much. It's very thoughtful of you. Why is everyone trying to trade? This is what it would be like if Guild Wars 2 had direct player trading. Oh, I'm missing out on a gold mine, guys. Why do I take these philosophies where I say I don't accept donations? Can you imagine? This must be what it's like to be like a WoW YouTuber or something, right? A mini Abyssal. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you very much. We can show that off on the stream. Remember, this is a random burner account that I have 0 wealth or anything on. Anything you give me is for this series and this series alone. You will never see it again outside of these Twitch streams and VODs that go up afterwards. That's it, people. So, you know, just know what you're doing here. I'm not taking this. You're not making me amazingly, incredibly happy with this because I'm filthy rich on my main account and I don't play my main account and it doesn't really matter, right? Humble brag. So, yeah. I'm just trying to say that be cautious if you're given anything. It's very, very nice and you're improving the quality of the videos, but that's as far as it goes. Oh, that's a spoiler. We're not taking that mini. That's a spoiler. I'll have the Abyssal, though. Oh, hell yeah. All right, we've got to actually play the game as well, so hold on. Let's dye ourselves pink. Because we're a girl, we have to wear pink, alright? That's right. Come at me. Come at me, internet. Alright, there you go. All good. I love how we only have one glove, by the way. Ritualist armor is so awesome. Look how elegant and sleek that crap is. That's so cool. Someone should cosplay in this kind of stuff. Screw them crazy exotic Guild Wars 2 stuff. I really like just like simple, that look almost like real clothes, but just, you know, that looks fancy. I mean, the middle bits could probably look kind of tacky IRL if you made them wrong. They'd look really plastic and jangling around and stuff. Also, you couldn't really cosplay a headpiece as a rip. You don't think anyone's a girl unless they wear pink? Guys, this is crazy. This is actually crazy. More pink dye in a bottle rocket. Thank you. We can show these off. McPoop, but that's some incredible fashion wars, someone just said. Boys can wear pink too, be inclusive, guys. No, they can't. I will hear of no boys wearing pink on my stream. If you're a parent and you have a little boy and he's trying to wear pink, if you don't stop him, you're a terrible human being. Okay, alright, I just snorted. Right, when did we get this? We got a new focus here, a ceremonial cauldron. Half skill recharge of spells, 15 health, 7 energy. Yeah, let's do main hand, offhand again then. Oh yeah, and we got this healing Ankh. Oh, I can do trades now because my account's not too old, not too young. That's awesome. Crimson Skull boots. We do have loot that we need to sort out. All right, here's a bottle rocket. Ready? Whee! Look, that's a flashy effect by Guild Wars 1 standards. All right. It was all very refined. It was all very, you know, simple, not adrenaline fueled and crazy. It was just very nice. Here you go. We got a water wand, which is unidentified. Yeah, so it's a water wand, and we're a rip. We don't really care too much about water. It's an element. But we can learn a little bit about the item systems in the game at this point. Let's go to a merchant. Who else is a correct level? Ollery Allgun is a correct level, and Bacons and Potato is a correct level. Good job, guys. Good job. Level 8. Look at that. 10 out of 10. So we'll go to a merchant, such as Jakao, and here you'll see that they're selling an identification kit. And it says double click to identify another item in your inventory. Solid RPG mechanic, adds a bit of depth to the game, bit of a pace breaker, well worthwhile in my opinion. I just bought 2 and I didn't want to. I'm going to bin the other one. One of the many casualties of streamlining and QOL and Guild Wars 2. But yeah, if you find any item, you can identify it. So this starter truncheon, I can identify it. Okay, I guess a starter truncheon is way too low tier. But like these camas, I can identify them, and it will tell me how much I can sell it for at a vendor. Bit of a weird system. If you, I mean, I don't know if this also then had a variance on item value, and you had a chance of getting more if you properly identified stuff before vendoring. Maybe you could have found that would be an interesting mechanic in the game. But yeah, you can do that. The most important part though is sometimes when you get magical properties on gear, you don't just know it straight away. You identify it. So here, a water wand. And here you'll see that it does have a perk on it. The perk on this is an improved sale value, which is kind of funny and complicates things with coming off the back of the Camus thing. But yeah, that could be, you know, some combat bonus for us there. So now when we sell it, we do get more money because we identified it. And yeah, you know, I've always regretted a little bit that Guild Wars 2 doesn't have that. You won't find many people champion identification. Most people just think stuff like that isn't worth anything in games. It's all about just go, fast, combat. But I think that systems like this and handling the inventory as an aspect of the game instead of a side to the game is good. One of the ways that, you know, I always go on about how great PoE is as a game and a successor to the original Guild Wars, the way it does its itemization, no trading posts, no currency at all really, except what the players decide is currency. And they have identification scrolls there, which you literally use as a currency with both other players and the vendors around the world. You know, these things can be interesting facets of an RPG, I think. Anyway, let's sell that. The bone stuff, it was pretty good, but let's get rid of it. The fan we started with, let's sell. I'll talk more about item stuff later. The starter Ritualist wand, we can't even Cells I get rid of. A Sunqua blade. Hype, man. I love those. Yeah, we'll do more, but I want to keep going on. So this, for example, these Crimson Skull boots can be salvaged. We'll talk about that side of things later. Start a truncheon. We'll throw in there. I need a one-handed weapon, really. Should we equip the wand? It's 7 to 10 damage. Yeah, let's equip the wand. It's actually better damage, frankly, than the staff was. We lose a bit of energy. And we lose our 10% chance to get half skill recharge. No, we gain it back because of our focus. This is just better, straight up. Let's get rid of the bow. Well, we'll sell the bow staff. So you can sell stuff after equipping it in Guild Wars 2 at any level. The customization system is something far later, which does basically soulbind. But we'll deal with that when we get to it. A Kappa shell hatchling. Kappas, people. Feel free to spam your silly, inane funsies. And, yeah, I think that's pretty good. Right. Did I use / bonus yet? No, because we're level 8, and that's all higher level stuff. And I like, well, you see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Why would we want to just bypass and just get all the level 80 or level 20 items straight away? No, I'll do that, like, way later when it matters. Hopefully, it will never matter. We'll fund and source things in other ways. But yeah, okay, so cool. We've got our clear skills on. We've got our higher resolution stuff. And we've got our map guide. So let's just head on over to Minister Cho's estate. And we'll take on the first instance. The imp is only available from... Yeah, I know. We'll show the imp. People have already been using the imp. You've seen it. And the imp isn't special to factions, so who cares? But yeah, we'll do it at some point. Did you get your PMs? I thought I got PMs, but it was probably on your stream. People have been whispering me in game. Yeah, I'm trying to focus more on chat on Twitch so that people feel worth speaking there. It was a while ago. AI have a gift. I'll give you other shit then. Thank you. In all seriousness, thank you to everybody who's offered stuff. I felt like I was in Guild Wars 2 World versus World there, like an open plane at a fort like this. That was really weird. Your dies are actively killing viewership. Have some new ones. Believe me, viewership will just be actively killed the longer we play. So don't worry about it. Just have fun with me and we'll chill. You know, it's gonna be good. I've received a guild invitation. The Spud Club? No, that's the Black Die Cartel. Oh, Vasberg, dude, that's hype, man. We're setting up a Spud Club here, though. I think I remember you talking to me about this, actually, didn't you? So I'm going to decline that because I think they set it up. If they haven't set it up and they haven't done it, I'll join later, man. That's pretty cool. That's your, like, you're trying to get prominent Guild Wars 2 personalities into a GW1 guild, right? That's the idea. To be honest, this account's probably a terrible idea to put in that guild anyway, since I plan to play this account for factions, and then we'll be away from it for ages until maybe another day we come back for Prophecies or Eye of the North or something. McPoop Butt looks like a multifaceted strawberry. I do like how we've ended up just dyeing ourselves in pink. Alright, Minister Cho's estate. Should we rewatch the cutscene? I think we probably should, just to immerse ourselves back in what's going on here. We, the esteemed, highly successful students, after a grueling several months at the monastery, have proven ourselves and are meeting with the minister. Let's get some of that sweet voice acting back, eh?
Ah, Master Togo! I did not know you were here. The minister has been waiting for you. Please, you are welcome here. What is going on?
It is madness! Guards have turned on each other! Something has gone terribly wrong! It is madness, I tell you! Madness!
Come. The minister needs our help. You must stay here. Do not let anyone else in or out of this gate until we know what is going on. Whatever it is that threatens this estate must not be allowed to threaten the entire monastery.
Master Togo, my son, he is in there.
I will look for him.
Please, Master Togo, Bring him back alive.
Alright, okay, we already laughed at that last week. Now, at the risk of really boring the head out of people, there's something I've never done with Guild Wars. Oh, it took us out of our pie. There's something I've never done with Guild Wars 1 that I want to try here on this stream. Listen, the VA is terrible all the way through factions. Believe me, we've not seen the worst of it. When we get to Danica and stuff, oh, it'll make you cringe. Now. There is an audio language option. I've done streams in Guild Wars 2 where we've listened to like French and heard Risen French and all that kind of stuff. I'm wondering if we set it to, and hopefully I don't seem too horribly ignorant here. I'm wondering if we set the audio language to Korean, we can have like that barrier there and we'll still have the text and stuff. I just want to see what it's like. So at the risk of irritating people by slowing this down, I'm going to do it in Korean. Now, I think we may have to restart our client for that. We'll just check right now. Here we go. It'll work, guys. It will work.
도고님이군요. 미처 알아보지 못했습니다.
Hi!
집정관님이 기다리고 있으니 어서 들어가십시오.
Ah, it's working! I'm immersed! They're speaking Canton, guys.
대체 무슨 일이냐?
끔찍한 일이 벌어지고 있어요. 동료들끼리 서로 막 공격하고 모두 미쳤나봐요. 미치기 분명해요.
I have my mouth agape, just like a smile.
아사, 집장관이 위험할지도 모르네. 자네 남아서 출입을 통제하고 해저 대간에 무슨 일이 벌어지고 있는지 모르겠지만 진상이 밝혀지기 전까지 아무도 출입하게 해서는 안 되네. 위험이 훈련소까지 퍼지지 않도록 막아야 하네.
도고님, 제 아들 녀석이 저 안에 있습니다. 저도
내가 찾아보지.
도고님만 믿겠습니다. 녀석을 꼭 찾아주십시오.
The problem is the balance is really low. Their voice balance is ridiculously low. Are you guys hearing that? It's crazy. I guess I have to dialogue max out, and then we're gonna have to, like, they did not mix that to the correct level. And then we can drop these, and then hopefully the cutscenes will sound all right after that. What do you think, guys? All right, here we go. Let's at least just get in the mission. Oh man, I really like the skill bar at the moment. Very quick recap. Sorry, Guardsman Kaio.
Welcome, young Mr. Mukpoopabat. It is a good thing Master Togo brought his best and brightest. Let me know if there is anything I can do to make your time here easier.
Remind me again what has happened to the monastery?
Togo brought you here following your graduation from Qingje Monastery. You are one of his most accomplished pupils.
Okay, what's the situation at the estate?
The minister's guards have contracted some sort of disease and gone completely insane. They have become highly aggressive and have turned on one another. Concern for the minister's safety is high.
Okay, give me some tips for the impending mission.
You should stay close to Master Togo and Yujo.
They are powerful allies. Screw you. Yujo's just a student just like me. I won't have him overshadow me at every turn. How dare you? I have my pride.
Engaging more than one group at a time is a deadly mistake. Take care when drawing creatures into your aggro zone. And before a mission or quest, consider adjusting your attribute levels to augment the skills you have equipped.
Alright. I'll be on my way. Let's do it. I'm not the party leader, so I will not appear in the cutscenes. And we are banking on the other player to start the mission. But I'm game for it nonetheless. Starting mission. Let's do it. You hate yourself for laughing every time that name comes up. What? What name? Which one? Oh, McPoopa. Oh. I didn't even do the Yujo escort side quest. This is not going to be a repeat of my LP at all. There is no research. There is no wikiing things. There is no finding the correct order. Most side quests will not appear. I'm not going over the same thing before.
Yujo, Igni Westlog. Come with me. Mr. Cho is in grave danger. We must find him before it is too late.
Yes, Master. Right away. Come, Igni Westlog. The Master wishes us to fight by his side. We will die with great honor. He sounds like a whimpering little boy. This is the only way that I can sleep at night, so. McPoopbutt invented tattoos, did he now? Ah, wait, I'm missing. We're already going down here. I want to look down across the estate with the new graphics. Oh, well. We'll see. Check it out. When we press M, it can show us the route we will go. In fact, I think our minimap will as well. Yeah, look at that. Ah, beauty. We could just put that there.
Second guards! We will have to destroy them. Let us focus our attacks on one at a time so that we can defeat them more quickly.
There you go. Look, Guild Wars 1 teaches players how to focus fire. This is why there were better PvPers in the original game.
Master, isn't it true that we can call out our target by holding control when we begin attacking? Quite so, Igni. You should be the one to call a target. The rest of us will attack your target.
Hurry now, Igni. Hold control and double-click one of the second guards. There you go. So he's called a target on that. What the hell was our skills again? You guys went channeling and death, right? We'll have another vote for a new build after we beat this instance. Sweet. I got some butterfly knives. They're for me, none of you others. Do we have an assassin? We do. Bacon to potato might want these, so I'm going to drop them. And yeah, look, we can drop items on the floor now. And you can pick that up. Oh, and we're conflicting with this minion monster. Oh, look, this guy is everything wrong with Guild Wars 2. Do you see this guy? He's wearing a Guild Wars 1 outfit, all right? He gave ArenaNet money in the early days and made them realize they could cash cow Guild Wars 2 outfits, and you can direct all your hate on him, all right? All of it. Even though he's wearing an excellent outfit themed to the area of the world right now. It's also a little bit lore spoilery because the Ministry of Purity did not exist yet. And I'm pretty sure that's a Ministry of Purity outfit. Alright, here we are.
Now, students, we will regroup near that tree there. Do you see how I've indicated the location on your minimaps? To do this, simply left-click the minimap.
Woo! Oh, so we synchronized did that over there. I don't know whether I synchronized did that with Togo or anyone else. Look, this guy dropped a broadsword, so now any warriors in the party could pick that up. Look at how we're interacting socially. Unlike in the sequel, where we would just be spamming F and autos.
You can also give more advanced directions by holding down the left mouse button and drawing on the minimap.
This guy says, there's something evil at work here.
I see. If I click what, the marker appears temporarily. If I click and hold, I can draw the map. How very useful.
The sequel's bindings for this stuff in there. I got a 100% confidence someone will draw a penis on that by the end of the series. It won't be me, and it won't be prompted. It will just appear. There will just be a penis that appears from one of you from Trap. That's basically. I'm convinced of it. Everyone looks like they're in better armor already, but there's no like transmutation system. So, one of these days, one of my spirit lit rifts is going to land. But the thing is, it's a long cast time on what is also then quite a slow, delayed packet of damage. Maybe I should just stick with Bloodsong. Yeah, I like the gate opening animations too. Yes, Master, there is safety in numbers. Remember, our strength comes in numbers. A lone hero is often a dead hero. Yeah, except that I'm a ritualist, and when I get SOS, I'm going to be like the solo god. I watched a really cool stream yesterday because they posted it on the Guild Wars 1 subreddit. A guy speedrun one of the factions missions in like 2 minutes. It was really, really awesome to see. It isn't a penis, it's art. And yeah, but on the previous streams we had tons of people who wanted to play it and not everyone could get in the party because it's only 4 man. So, if you guys are game for it, you can totally form other parties. I love the thought that we've got lots of crews going through at once here. That'd be awesome. Minister's Guard.
I cannot thank you enough for your help. Those guards, they were not the people I once knew. Something changed them. Be careful, there are a lot more of them about.
So yeah, look, all the people going crazy at the estate, guys. What could this mystery be? Let's summon a Bone Fiend. Now, why did I pick a Bone Fiend on my bar when we don't... I should go Bone Minions, probably.
Yujo, stop! With such a large group, it is best to keep your distance and see if they will separate, giving you a better opportunity to strike. Wait here, students, and I will lure them back to you. If you are patient, the battle will be much easier for us.
All right, so here we go. We're learning about luring, except nobody was patient or reading the dialogue. Oh, look at this. Look at the T. I love that sign again. The memories. Oh yeah, let's open our minion panel as well. Let's cast Death Nova on that bad boy. I mean, this is the thing. You see the anti-synergy. Death Nova's not necessarily that good on a Bone Fiend because it's not functioning as a flesh wall. So when it dies, you'll watch it explode in a second, but nothing will be around it. I literally just cast this to exploit a corpse really quickly and deny Bacons and Potato from grabbing it. Or Ologri, one of these guys is... oh, check it out. Look, he's spamming. Wait, what? I just saw he used an elite. I guess he toned and stuff. You guys have been preparing, eh? That's cool. Now I can death Nova the other players who have created stuff. He's got shambling horrors and everything. This is Nightfall power creep right here, and I won't have it. Okay, I will because I don't have a choice. But yeah, this is a minion that is a shambling horror, and when it dies, it becomes a jagged horror. So it dies twice, so you can get double Death Nova synergy out of it. And I believe the jagged ones cause bleed on attacks too. They're squishier and lower level though as you summon them. But that's a perfectly okay downside. Yeah, we can't get any of a spirit with. We're the lowest DPS here, guys. We're on like nothing. That's really important. Okay, trust me. I'm from Reddit. You remember Thunderhead Keep back in the day? See, I don't actually really have memories of original super tough Thunderhead Keep because I wasn't actually that active of a player at that time. I basically got the game right at launch, played it a little bit, experienced a little bit, and then went away for 6 months or so. And when I finally came back in, it was around the Sorry's Furnace Strength footprint release and the addition of the PvP Isles, so I missed out on a lot of that stuff. That creature, and when I say I started, I mean I literally like experienced pre-searing at launch and then never really went much further. That creature is no normal foe. I can see a glowing aura of power around it. When you defeat such an opponent, its death will provide you with a morale boost. This will recharge all of your skills and temporarily increase your health and energy. It will even allow us to recharge our resurrection signets. We should not hesitate to use them in battle with such an enemy, for if it is defeated, the signet will recharge afterwards. A mechanic I basically fully explained before. He may have a big boss aura, but he's also using Frenzy, so we're blowing him up really quickly. There you go, morale boost. I love the surrounding of our icons here. Okay. Why Minion Monster and Ritualist? Because we don't have to follow some arbitrary idea of meta in Xingji Island, and we voted on a communer of the dead, which involves spirits and undead. Lighten up. You love all the spirit rifts coming up, especially after he's dead, I know. Because Yizhou should be casting them as well, I think. He's using Spirit Burn, and probably Cruel was Dao Shen. I should do that too. Look, listen. Yizhou isn't better than me. I'm not learning from Yizhou, okay? I refuse to accept that that's a possibility. What is that? Some sort of feather demon? I love this. The idea that I'm like ultra jealous of this guy and annoyed by everything he does, and he just doesn't even acknowledge my existence. He just doesn't care. He's just so far above me and focused on his own life. Isn't that the way of the world, guys? I believe it's a moa bird, Yizhou. It is from a land far across the Great Sea. The minister is fond of collecting exotic animals. It seems some of them have gotten loose. This one looks to be quite ill, does it not? I love this moment. Little connection of prophecies to factions, something from so far away. Let's take out the wolf. Let's just drop the ashes to AoE them all. Oh, I missed it. I was too late. God damn it, man. We gotta be quick. You guys are doing too much deeps. You're ruining my immersion. On the matter of multiple parties running with you, I think more people are waiting for you to hit 20. There's very few people that were low level appropriate enough for Minister Cho's estate. Not even enough for a second part. Master's worry. Yeah, I mean, when we hit 20, it will obviously open up a lot because people can just bring all kinds of different characters. Okay, I've got the back aggro, guys. Yeah, the bursties. Nuked that Warhawk. Sweet, I got healing breeze. Frenzied, sickened mowers. Just hit him with our wand, I suppose. I'm playing a really weird mix of click to move right now and run stuff. So here I'm going to Spirit Rift early. Oh yeah, it does. It makes the AI move though, doesn't it? Damn. Got that little detail. Here I'm Death Novering myself and just going to go YOLO into a million mobs. Here we go. It's going to work. It's going to be genius. You ready? I'm going to Leroy it up. I'm sick of getting kills stolen. Here we go, guys. Alright. We got Cruel was Dao Shen on us. We're low on... Oh, crap. I cast that on Yizhou. I accidentally had a target on him. We're low on energy, but this will be fine. Ready? We're going to cast this and let them get in on us. Then the Spirit Rift. Then we're going to drop it. And then we're going to die. But we don't have Death Nova on us anymore. There we go. Oh, but we're getting healed. Alright, never mind. Well done. Well done to the monks. Yeah. Oh, I really wanted to cast Unnatural Signet on the Spirit of Pain there. But obviously I'm not a Mesmer and it doesn't matter in this content. But still. You kind of like the extra sound effects from the animals and minions. There doesn't seem to be as much in Guild Wars 2. Well, what that actually is because in Guild Wars 1 they tied it to the dialogue slider, which we have maxed for cutscenes and other random bits of dialogue. But what that means is we hear wolves and things louder. I think that Guild Wars 2 does contain just as much detail and sound effects and things like that and death effects, but they're bundled into, it's all in effects, which you're gonna, and it's much lower than the sounds of the combat, and you can't decouple it. It's just there's a lot of things to do with how they handle sound in Guild Wars 2 that's really bad, and it means you lose a lot of quality from the game, unfortunately. But they should just split it apart and give us more sliders. Footsteps being the greatest crime. I love Guild Wars 2 footsteps sounds. They always make me nostalgic and interested, but most of the time I never hear them anymore. One of the great games in the LP has been trying to get that at a good level for you all. And Guild Wars 1 wasn't perfect. It has most of the same problems. Crap, we did die there, and I didn't get the Death Nova. But it literally these crazy elementalists blowing us up. But in some small respects, it's a little bit better. Sweet, we got res. Uh-oh, the death penalty. Flashbacks of how hard that little pull is actually in hard mode there. I want some spirits back. When you guys next vote, we should really get some spirits if we can. It's so easy to... Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm misclicking all over the place. It's so easy to... just summon crap. But I don't want to do spirits the whole way through the playthrough. That would be kind of lame. Spirit Rift's good at countering other Rits because it kills the whole nest. I'm going to deliberately aggro these because I don't want them coming up during the boss fight. I don't want people trying to skip tiny little mobs. In the name of efficiency, a really old game. That's the point. Necro bombing in Jade Quarry. That's what bots do, isn't it? Isn't that like a bot technique? Now I'm gonna get a thing from this. Oh, what? Really? Oh God, I need to get used to targeting again. So what happened there was I spent 15 energy to start animating these minions, clicked the body I was hoping to exploit to gesture to you all. And because I clicked the body, it didn't just target, it cancel cast and made me walk over as well because of click to move, which I'm not used to. So I thought it was going to act like Guild Wars 2, and then I just wasted all 15 energy on that cancel cast. Right, hello Yizhou, hello Minister Cho. Beautiful room here. I genuinely do think this looks good. Greetings, Mukpupabati. It is my honor to train beside you. You are fast becoming a favourite student of mine. Favourite. Yeah, Yizhou's your favourite. We all know it, mate. Don't you patronise me. Beautiful area. Okay, Minister Cho. It's not going to be us in this cutscene. It will be our party leader, but still. Jesus. Christ. No dialogue there, I guess, then. Alright, defeat the deceased minister. What a weird cutscene that ended up being. Oh my God, this is so messing up my muscle memory. The fact that this is 8 skills and I'm expecting to be 10. Alright, down he goes. Yeah, big dangerous monster. What the hell was that? Everyone else was just mad. That thing looked different. Woo. Minions are going to ruin all of our cutscenes, by the way. Did you just see that boy up there? Perhaps it is the son of the guardsman.
천상의 전령사가 그대를 영원한 천국으로 인도하기를. 오랜 벗이여 모든 고통을 잊고 부디 미스트에서 편히 잠들게. 이리 나오너라 꼬마야. 이젠 안전하단다. 내가 누군지 알겠니?
마스터 토고님이요.
정말 똑똑하구나. 그런데 왜 울고 있었지? 내게 말해보렴.
무서운 꿈을 꿨어요.
무서운 꿈이라? 어떤 꿈인지 한번 말해보렴.
바람이 불어 나무에서 잎이 다 떨어지고 동물원에 있는 동물들은 모두 겁에 질렸어요. 그 동물들이요, 원래는 아주 순한데 꿈에선 뭔가가 나와 그들을 화나게 했어요. 그래서 동물들이 사람들을 해치기 시작했어요. 그러자 사람들도 화가 나서 서로 해치기 시작했고요. 그 중에서도 조 집정관님이 제일 크고 성난 괴물로 변했어요.
부모님은 어디 계시니, 꼬마야?
엄만 제가 아주 어릴 때 돌아가셔서 기억나는 게 하나도 없어요.
그럼 아버지는?
아빠는 관문을 지키고 계세요. 토고님, 아빠는 조 집정관님처럼 화를 내지 않겠죠?
물론이지. 네 아빠는 절대 화내지 않을 거야. 오히려 널 보면 아주 기뻐할 거다. 나는 이 아이를 아버지에게 바래다 줘야겠네. 자네는 훈련소로 되돌아가서 불멸의 앙에게 이곳 상황을 알려주게. 분명 관심 있어 할 거야.
Alright. We'll do a straw poll now, 2 of them back to back. 1 on whether we keep the Korean, and 2 on the next field. By the way, the music in this cutscene is possibly my favorite track of the entire franchise. I don't know, it's a hard thing to say, but it is up there. It is such a melancholic, mind-blowing, emotive piece. I love the music in the background there. If you watch the one Law series video I did for this region of the world, it features this song at the end. It's just such a beautiful track. It's really just echoey, haunting. Man, I don't have the language to express how much that track affects me. There we go. We get extra rewards here. We got the 3 weapons, Masters, Expert, and Standard, because we beat the mission really quickly. So the faster you do missions and factions, you do that. It was a bit of a cop-out, really, so they didn't have to make bonus objectives. But sort of nice. So you have it. All the weapons we dropped for one another on the floor now are available for claiming. I'm not going to pick any of them up. And yeah, let's get the first straw poll underway. All right, so if you haven't really watched the other couple of streams I did on this already, I let you guys pick on a lot of different things. So we've seen what we think of the Korean idea. The thing with the Korean one is I don't trust you guys to actually read the text, frankly. I reckon a lot of you are alt-tabbed or I don't know, and I'm not able to give you the story fully with that, which is disappointing. I suppose we could do Korean with me reading the text over their voices, but I don't know. Let's just say English or Korean. I also want to know, does anyone who speaks Korean, is anyone who is able to speak Korean in chat? I'd love to know what your estimation on their localization attempts were. It's probably terrible, right? But I'm curious. The subs are as big as I can make them. No, it's not that I don't think you can read. It's because I think people have got too short attention spans to want to go through it. That's what I think. I think people don't care about putting the effort into reading. That's what I think. It's not that you're not capable. It's that you put no effort in. Do we have other languages to choose from? No, the only language I care about doing it on is Korean. I mean, it might be interesting to do it German and French and stuff, because there will be German and French speakers in chat right now, and they can give their input. But, I mean, if you're really interested in that, you can go look at the game. I mean, do we have any Italians in chat? For some reason, I'm less convinced by that I don't have many Italian viewers. I've definitely got a lot of German. And Spanish, too. I'm sure there's lots of Spanish people. No, there is no Chinese. There's no Chinese. Yeah. So let's just see how that. Well, hold on. Let me speak to. So check it out. Ang is back. Not many professions have the luxury of this, of having their profession trainer appear again in later stories, but Ang we get here.
Master Tengu has requested that you travel to the Eri, the Angchu Tengu village in Kenya province, to warn the citizens there that the plague has come to Kantha. Speak to their leader, Saw on a Claw, and tell her to prepare for the plague's arrival. Alright, I will warn them. So, yeah, this is obviously a bit of a scary moment. Here, I guess if we had properly unmapped everything, it was even giving us more information about how fast we have to play to beat it, the Masters. That's kind of funny. I should do spaghetti advertisements to get more Italian viewers. I'll take that as read. That's a good idea. Now, there is also another important quest we can get at this point from this guy over here. I recommend everyone does it. You'll notice this dude is level 20, and he says, "You have been inside the minister's estate. If you are able to survive in there, you might be just the person I'm looking for. You see, I know the location of a great treasure within the estate grounds. Now that the minister's guard is in chaos, a few brave souls might make their way back into the estate and become very enriched. I'm heading in at any rate. Join me if you wish." This is kind of crazy. It's never occurred to me that we become thieves, essentially, to do this. And it's like a hard line. You got to do this quest, really, if you want full attribute level. This is a weird mechanic to look back at. It's very strange to think of a game doing it these days. I don't really agree with Guild Wars 1 locking off. You either lock off tons of attribute points behind quests, or none. You don't do, like, a very random specific couple that are easy to miss sort of thing. That's just weird. And, like, the quests themselves aren't in any service of anything greater. It's not like they're in Ergos and the Deep and its encouragement to get people to move to various different kinds of content. It's just a random, yeah. I know where it came from with the prophecy side of things, but it's understandable how they get rid of them. Such chaos, it is difficult in times such as these for a man to know what is right and what is wrong. Difficult, but not impossible, I suppose. I hope you guys all got that quest in time, by the way. I hope I didn't just run out here before people were capable of it. So we hit level 9 as well, and we will go a little bit more up on death here. And then we'll get the next straw poll running as well. Basically, guys, you vote on attributes, and the top 2 or 3 at the end of the poll will be what I run. Okay, so and then I feed my skills out of that. So there's going to be another straw poll in 1 second. Let's see what you said about the language. WP, does this let you change subtitles? Yes, it does. There's a subtitle change. It's different to a voice change. So results of this first poll. Lots of you do want Korean. English won, but a lot of you do want Korean. So I feel like a kindred spirit to all you guys. I get it. It's kind of a cool idea, right? Well, maybe we'll nip back to it later. We'll do English for now, though, because the majority do want that. Then, yeah, I'm just going to make this next poll. So, what do you want to see, guys? We want blood, death, curses, communing, restore. We might be able to have new skills as well now at this outpost, I think. Once you finish the first mission, the game opens up a bit. There you go. So, here's a poll. Oh, crap. I messed up. I've got to type it all in again. Bloods, death, curses, communing, restore. And this will be our build for at least the next stream. Maybe even further. Maybe the stream after it as well. Because I don't want to be spending ages doing this. You can vote in multiple attributes at once, okay? Just pick the ones you want to see. The 2 you want to see. Please don't vote on more than that. Vote on the 2 you want to see. There's the straw poll. Hopefully you guys can spam that for a while. Did I just read the word Arcadia in chat? Or am I imagining things? As a professional localization / translator, I think I could evaluate the French. Dude, you totally should, and tell me what you think of it. WP AFK while his party carries him. I'm not AFK. I've just got more priorities than just playing the game. I've got you guys to look at. Alright. So, yeah, look, there's a Necromancer's skull there showing the boss as well. Right, they've all charged on ahead, like well ahead, I guess. Amazing gameplay we're getting here. I'm not even sure I'm able to go the correct route here. Corpse of a Canthan peasant. Are we going the right way? I hope we are. This is leading back to Cho's office. What about down the... Uh-oh, there's mobs here. The players definitely never came this way. Oh, they're over there. No, we're alright. They did come through here. Okay. Oh, look at this auto running as well. I can just move the camera around and immerse myself in Tyria. Look at that.
French localization is historically bad in older games. It's funny because I like, my Enslave video music is from a French game. I actually have a lot of, I don't know, it feels like French gaming in the 90s was really awesome, and then it just sort of disappeared a little bit. But I really like a lot of French games. I just don't know any contemporary great AAA games that come from France. Enlighten me, guys. What are some great games that are French? That I'm just thinking of past and I don't know. French produced, and then English localized later. It's like the country just, as far as I'm seeing, it looks like the country just decided, fuck video gaming. So you're not in an instance, but you're in an open map that's only shared by your party. Okay, Jules, that's a good question. So for the Guild Wars 2 players that don't know this, I essentially am in an instance. Basically what you're looking at is a Guild Wars 2 dungeon. I mean, the distinction is almost arbitrary. If you can imagine, I've got a 4-player party cap right now. If this party cap was 150, and people could just come in and leave whenever they want, that's Guild Wars 2's Queensdale. I mean, literally engine-wise, that is what's going on. But as far as mechanically and sort of the way it presents itself, you can think of this as a lot closer to a Guild Wars 2 dungeon or a fractal or a raid or something. It's actually a lot more restrictive than that. In Guild Wars 2, someone can join your party in the middle of a dungeon, in the middle of a fractal, and they can hop in and get credit right at the end, and that's it, it's done. In Guild Wars 1, you have to be there right when we enter the port. If you're not, you've missed your train, you can't come in. I can't kick Bacons and Potato now and replace him with someone else. In Guild Wars 1, once you're out in the world, when you're in the instance or open world or whatever you want to describe it as, you're kind of stuck with the players you're with. I think that was a technology-oriented situation to have developed back in the day. But it led to, again, it's one of those things where it's a big contributor to why the game had social elements that Guild Wars 2 lacks, I'm stuck with these 4, so if I get a problem with Bacons and Potato, if he's doing low damage, and I really care about that, which I don't, and I won't, but if Guild Wars 1 had kept going under this infrastructure, this system, if I really cared about his low damage, or I was really impressed by his damage, on the other hand, it's not all negatively counted. If I like his skins or whatever, but no, let's just stick with, if there's a reason I want to get his attention, like I'm stuck with him and I have more opportunity to do that, and particularly the idea if I'm upset with him, I guess, and I wanted to replace him, I wouldn't just instantly be like, I'll kick him, I'll get a guildie in, I'll kick him, I'll just go back to LFG, oh, fuck it, let's just go. What I'm actually much more likely to do, because I'm more restricted as a player, is talk to him and teach him about things and ping. And, there is some bad that comes with that. I guess there's some toxicity and stuff that comes from that. But I don't think it's a developer's job always, to every extent and every facet, be the community shield in those regards. I think just the fact that there are these avenues and opportunities to get to know people a bit better. Like, I'm way more likely to come out of this and invite these guys to my guild and know them a bit better after playing some missions with them in Guild Wars 1 than I am after doing a full set of fractals in Guild Wars 2. I can spend 2 hours doing fractals and dungeons in Guild Wars 2, and then I can spend 2 hours doing, whatever the Guild Wars 1 equivalent is that you might like, this, or whether you say that that's Domain of Anguish or Underworld or whatever. If I spend 2 hours for 2 hours each time, I'm much more likely to form bonds and know the people I'm playing with in Guild Wars 1, just because it's more restricted. You have to be there together, you have to formally party up at the start, there's no like dipping in and out. But in the name of convenience, the devs bowed to everything needs to be fast and easy and free and open and go, 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 go. And, there's a lot of concessions that come with that. It's a very, very complicated picture to definitively say whether Guild Wars 1 is better or Guild Wars 2 is better. Guild Wars 2 definitely appeals to the sensibilities of people who don't want to think deeply about the game and don't want to spend a lot of time deeply with the game. I would definitely say that. That's ArenaNet's MO, and to that extent, they hit their remit very well. This guy here says, so it turns out he's not stealing. Run for your lives. They've all gone mad. Do not look behind you. Just run. They are coming. Keep up. The treasure is near. Hito? Hito, is that you? Are you ill? Hito, why are you looking at me like that? Wait, stop. Get away from me. Oh, God, no. I pray these rampaging guards have not found the treasure yet. The world has gone mad. The minister is dead. My closest friend has tried to kill me. Surely we have descended into the bowels of the underworld. There is no escape from this darkness. We are all going to die. Ah. So, yeah, there you go. Didn't they add a hard mode version of this as well, by the way? Pretty sure there was a hard mode variant. Lower the game volume. During combat, we can barely hear. Okay. I just dropped you another 3 dB, so hopefully that's enough. Thank you for telling me before the stream went the entire length of that. I did ask at the start. You've delivered there. There's a recent Reddit thread asking for easier story instances. I wonder if the vanilla Guild Wars 2 instances are deemed hard, or if it's more to do with the living world and expansion. Has to be living world and expansion, dude. It's got to be. I mean, some people might frown at me saying that, but they'd be wrong too. It's gonna be the living world stuff. And it's true, if you go in on that on ridiculous builds and with no understanding of the game, they are a bit of a nightmare and they are a bit frustrating. But the problem isn't making them easier, the problem is teaching people how to get better at the game and smoothly guiding them up that wall of difficulty instead of what the game currently is. But hey. That's not an easy fix, what I just proposed, so maybe they will just nerf it all. That's fine, I guess. I don't know about that for Guild Wars 2. Just spent several hours thinking about how to take the best screenshots in Guild Wars 2 last night with a friend. What are you talking about? I'm not saying that it's impossible to socialize with people in Guild Wars 2. I'm saying pound for pound, one game is more efficient at encouraging that behavior in its player base. That's what I'm saying. I'm not denying the existence of one compared to the other. I mean, Christ. I must level with you, my friend. There is no treasure but my beloved Jajane Nia. Oh, see, we're not villains, guys. I mean, we kind of, the intent was there to rob this place blind. We were a bit dickish, but it's okay. It worked out in the end because of circumstance. Yay. Though her name means precious treasure in the ancient tongue, I suppose she is not quite the treasure you were hoping for. I apologize for the deception, but I did not think anyone foolhardy enough to come in here with me simply for the sake of helping me find her. I will not ask for more of you. We can find our way back safely. Here is something to compensate you for your trouble. So he teaches a lot. As a badass level 20 guy, we get 15 attribute points, which we can put to use very soon. Jaja Nia says, all of the fighting, the blood, I feared never to see my beloved again. It's okay, lady. There you go. Oh, look, guys, it's a story of love. It's like that song, the Pina Colada song, about a guy that's trying to cheat on his wife and leave her, but don't worry, it's all good in the end. Because, oh, look, he was going to cheat on her with her. Whee. The ends are all that matters, okay? All right, let's go back to the Ranmusu Gardens. I'll resign because otherwise I have to leave the party. All right, last chance to vote on the attributes, guys. What do you want to see? 2 resignations. We're waiting for a couple more. I think my favourite part of the original Guild Wars is the sense of peace and calm and overall ambience. I always felt like I'm rushing around doing things in Guild Wars. If I'm not going fast, then I feel like I'm wasting time. When in Guild Wars 1, it felt the exact opposite. I used to just sit there for hours and then dancing. That could be you as a person changing, and we always have to understand those biases, and the circumstances of our lives can change our interpretation of the products we play. And it's on no fault of the product or the devs. But I get what you mean. I feel to an extent that as well. I mean, I don't find Guild Wars 2 a stress to play. I find it very relaxing and chill and laid back. But there is another side of that coin that I kind of get what you're driving at there. Right. So, attributes. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's really close across the board. 19, 18, 15, 14, 13, 10%, 10%. Those percentages are really spread out. That's quite the pie chart we've got there, guys. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It looks like people aren't digging the Necro side of stuff today. Why not? I guess because we have another minion monster on the team, so people don't like it. They'll just let the other guy do it. And it's true that I've barely been touching these skills just because I have no confidence that the corpse won't already get exploited. So the top 2 were communing. None of you, not enough of you, I think, are going spawning part, but communing and then channeling. And we'll try and get a good mix of the 2. So, Communing was at the top, so if I do that, we've got 6 points left. Do that, we've got 3. Okay, that's good. 8 communing, 5 channeling, and then the third one is curses. In fact, let's do it this way. There you go. We've only 2 that we're not using, and I'll just buffer those into our primary attribute, or one of those. Right, so let's look at our highest attribute first, which is communing. So we've got Shadow Song, we've got Pain, we've got Union, 3 spirits. We've got Dissonance, lots of energy for Dissonance. So I'm not 100% confident how much we'll use that. We've got the Brutal Weapon. I want to use this, I really do. I want to play like a buffer for a while. And then Channeling, you guys have also gone with. Channeling, we have another spirit, so I'll pick up Blood Song. I won't use Cruel was Dao Shen, Channeled Strike, and Spirit Rift because we used those earlier. Spirit Boon Strike, that's just... Oh, that heals our spirits and does damage. That's interesting. Should we take a spirit heal then? That's our first spirit heal technically. It's a cool icon. Let's not. Let's leave that. Spawning power. I don't think we have any spawning power skills yet. No, we don't. And then curses. So we've got space for 1 curses ability. Should we just spread weakness with enfeebling touch? Since this is not an energy oriented skill, this is a health sacrifice. So it's fine to just throw out there. We can do it if we're cooldown starved on everything else. So we'll throw 1 enfeebling blood out. And yeah, let's take the heal. There you go. So this is a pretty spirit heavy build, guys. You've just created 4 spirits, 5 spirits, a spirit heal, and then we can spread weakness and throw a weapon on our melee characters. So we can throw the brutal weapon on our assassin buddy there. Pretty nice, I think. Not very high in the spawning power, so our spirits won't be very healthy. But as long as we have a minion meat wall, then that can take it. I mean, Union is going to get wrecked, just BT dubs, because of all the stuff that we'll have around, but it's fine. If we fight something that does slow large packets of damage, it will die slower. But okay, God, I really, really love this build craft in this game. I don't know what it is about it. I gotta unpack the nostalgia, I'm sure. Right, yeah, let's get on with warning the Tengu. Big moment here. We get to finally see the Tengu and the Airy. The Airy being, I believe, another one of those fairly definitive Game of Thrones early references the devs used to filter all over the place. Let me order these in terms of energy costs as well. So, Bloodsong and Pain are the cheapos. Dissonance is super expensive. Shadow Song is quite pricey. Yeah, this order here. So, offensive, 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 pricey and defensive, ultra pricey. I like that ordering. It's structured a bit like how you might expect a Guild Wars 2 skill bar to be. So let's start summoning, and we can see our minion panel is going up. Here I'm dropping them all on the same hive. So here, look, we drain all of our energy, getting our initial wave of minions up. Now we can health sacrifice to put enfeebling blood out. That's cool. Problem with a spirit character is when we walk away from a nest like this, we can't really contribute to the next fight unless we pull the tigers back, but that's fine. It comes with the playstyle. You're strong. You sort of leapfrog what pulls you're strong in until you get summoned spirits, which just breaks the whole flow of the thing and puts us decidedly into OP territory. Check if you can buy new skills. Oh, yeah. And there's the Ranmusu lore. Hold on. Once the private retreat of a Canthan prince whose name has been lost to history, Ranmusu, Blue Moon, Gardens is now protected from settlement or development by imperial decree. The monks of Xingzhei often visit the gardens to meditate for days at a time. Guild Wars 2 needs this, man. All the region names, I should not talk about that too much because I once got obsessed with that idea and started actually writing them. You could put them in Taco or something, but so much world building we get there. Yeah, Summon Spirits is broken. It basically takes a core philosophy-based element of this style of build and just removes it. Removes like the main downside, the main point of weakness. Real example of bad balance. But they say, oh, it's PvE only, so it's okay. And that's basically the situation Guild Wars 1 got to in the end. And they were like, okay, let's do a new game. The balance will be better there, guys, I swear. I swear, guys. Yeah, there's so many cool POIs and just what I would want is each of those region areas that you unfog. just if each of those had an outpost style, and not just like a lazily slapped on thing like Heart Vendor dialogue or the mail that the Tyrian Explorer Society. Someone to really sit down with passion and a desire to explore and expand this franchise and spend months writing them all down. I really mean that, months, thinking about backstories and histories of the areas and just expand upon it. And really, someone who's got a deep passion for world building to spend that time on this franchise and filter that throughout Guild Wars, it would mean so much. And then do a bestiary afterwards. Can you imagine? It's one of the big differences between the two games. It is. And I'm asking for a lot more in the Guild Wars 2, but hey, everything about Guild Wars 2 is bigger. If only they could update the targeting system in Guild Wars 1. I think that's a bit of a... That's a nice, happy little thing for you to ask, but you're basically asking for the underlying game to be gutted and changed there, so I'm not entirely sure if that's convincing. It's really a shame Peter's no longer in the company. He came with factions and contributed to its lore and maps, so Arena lost the Trevor Trove. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the scary things about losing Peter, frankly, that people like that aren't easily replaced. You have a deep passion for world building, but you don't know about Guild Wars 2 lore? Well, the fact is that when it comes to Guild Wars 2 stuff, you kind of get a clean slate. Like, a lot of the stories and the names and the backstory behind the places of the world are a reflection of the cultures interacting with them. And the good thing about Guild Wars 2 is the Asura are new to where they are. The Char are newly back in Ascalon. The Norn are newly in the southern Shiver Peaks. So it's kind of just you don't even need to know much lore. You need to have an intimate understanding of the Norn, and then you can speculate in your own mind about how they interacted with and understood and build legends around the areas they're at, and then you just infuse that into your 1 to 2 paragraph long description, you know? And it's no small feat. I would never try and make it sound small or simple, but it's not an insurmountable challenge you need this ridiculous baseline of understanding. Like the Iron Horse Mine, named as such in the southern Shiver Peaks, is all ingrained in Dwarven stuff, which you don't need to worry about anymore, in theory. If there was ever a good time for outsiders to visit Aerie, this is certainly not that time. My father's murder has made us more wary of strangers than usual. Saw Honor-Claw. Bitches, there is only one Tengu more recognizable and badass than this sweet piece of ass right here. That is Talon Silverwing. Saw is awesome. That is the reason why on my Guild Wars 2 account I have a character called Saw Honor-Claw. I intend to make her in Guild Wars 2 one day. It's going to be awesome. Here she's talking about how her daddy died. If you play as an assassin like this jerk right here, you see this guy? Bacon to potato. This douchebag, in his starting story quests, he gets manipulated by one of his assassin trainers to kill the leader. That father died in one of the profession quests earlier. It's kind of nuts. I'm at that point where my coffee's almost unbearably cold. Hold on. Let's see. My father's murder has made us more wary of strangers than usual. Minister Cho has died of plague? That is terrible news indeed. But your story sheds light on our recent troubles. We have had reports of Tengu killed by a strange beast previously unseen hereabouts. It sounds very similar to these afflicted creatures you describe. Talon here was summoned to destroy the beast, but since you have knowledge of these things, I am certain he would welcome your help. Please go with Talon and help him to destroy this afflicted creature. Now, if you play as a warrior as well, one of my big regrets in the Let's Play I did was you get to interact with Talon as one of your profession trainers if you're a warrior, and you get to see how, like, there's all these, like, vaguely racially charged tensions in the area about him and the fact that he's allowed to work at the monastery and stuff, but Togo trusts him, and Togo was instrumental in the peace accord, so they kind of let it happen. It's very, very, very cool if you play as a warrior in factions and you get that little bit of extra on Talon. You don't get any lore here. Wait, WP, an Aerie is just a place that birds and eagles live? Is it really? Okay, I was tentative about what I said earlier because I wasn't sure on that. They did a lot of Game of Thrones references, like the Great Northern Wall, literally, and oh god, I can't remember. There's a lot though, and I was wondering if they were still doing that with factions. I didn't realize that it is also just a place where birds live. Is it really? Is that just a classic, well understood fantasy concept, or is that just a real thing? I've never heard Aerie. I mean, I've been to bird sanctuaries and stuff before, but an Aerie? All right, here we go. The afflicted creature. This is an afflicted assassin. We're not going to have long enough to really get our spirits up. Everybody's doing a ton of damage. Oh, well, the Eddie's using a ward. Hype. I like seeing weird skills. I like it when everybody starts doing this stuff. It is a reward. There you go. So I'm glad you guys pointed that out. I learned 2 things today. I learned a little bit. Oh God, no, I've forgotten the word. What was the word? I learned about epistemology. I'm having a stroke here. I learned about that, and then I also learned about this. Bird is the word. Okay, so epistemology. Why am I trying to say malology? My tongue has deceived me and betrayed me many times over the past few streams. You have performed a great service for the Tengu this day. I wish that I could say the danger is past, but I fear that it has only just begun. Talon, I think it is likely that our young friend here will soon be called away on another mission. Can you stay and protect the village? While you're away dealing with that plague creature, Aang the Ephemeral left a message for you. Apparently, several of your fellow students are visiting Kaitan village on the Panyang Peninsula. But Master Togo has sensed a growing threat in that area, and he believes that the students might be in mortal danger. He wants you to travel with all speed to Kaitan village in the Panjang Peninsula and help them deal with any threats. We'll leave it once. So this is actually going to be the same area of the world as we were before. Who's up for walking there, though? Let's walk south through Kinya provinces. We haven't done that yet. Lots of people here, by the way. Here's a Tengu shrill. Those who respect the land and all its creatures are friend the Yangju Tengu. Welcome to the area. No, not many will speak of it, but Master Togo was instrumental in bringing about the end of the wars. You got anything else? I don't miss this either. Since the wars have come to an end, we have lived here in relative peace. One of our own teaches at the monastery. I doubt he is well accepted among his peers. There we get a little bit of it. Interesting little dialogue delivery concept they're using there. You like epistemology better as well. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Thank you so much for the sub there, by the way, Rachi. Thank you. Nature Death as well. It's good to see you. 16 months, dude. That's awesome. Jerry, is that really your 3rd year? 36 months. Oh my God, it was an hour ago as well. I missed it as well, didn't I, Jerry? I saw you posting when we started Minister Cho's estate. Look at your subs. Dude, Jerry, you still there? I feel so bad if he's gone now. Can I ask him to wait an hour? Dude, are you the first 3-year person? Oh, I got a message here. Oh, I feel so bad. Totally dropped the ball on that one. That's awesome, though. 3 years, woo. Keep the content coming. Tato love. Damn, man. I've been streaming 3 years. That's bonkers. Do I get more badges and things for people when they get that far? That is insane. I should whisper him. Not whisper him, message him in-game. Not in-game, on Twitch. That's so crazy. I think he offered to become a stream mod as well the other day. I might, by the other day I mean months ago. I might take him up on that. That might be a good idea. That's way out of scope to add all that lore to the areas. Well, listen, the Orient ones are extremely inspiring to me as well. The place names and the languages from the real world that they draw from, it is wonderful. And Or is one of the most magical, despite physically in the game, it's kind of a crappy place. Lazily and shoddily and hastily put together. Or is kind of a beautiful place in the lore just because it has such intriguing place names. And you've got to be careful with why something's interesting. Is it interesting because it's abstract and you don't know much about it? Or is it interesting, or would it become more interesting when you start dumping more information on? My suspicion with Ore is a lot of the place names and areas there I would want to be expanded on, but only a little, you know. I wouldn't want crazy detail thrown into much of the Orient stuff, because I think the point of Ore is to be mysterious, and worlds and franchises and con worlds, and that they should have space for that, you know. And I think Ore is Guild Wars' space for that, so I don't think that anyone should ever intend to offer hard and fast answers to those places, because I think you would rob it of its beauty, of why we're interested in the first place. But other areas, I think you could do lots more, and it would be really, really cool. And again, I'm not arguing for zero expansion on all stuff. I just think you have to be careful. You know, I think I've learned a lot about why some RPGs are really enjoyable and their worlds feel so realistic and immersive and brilliant, and others don't. And a lot of people boil it down to just like, oh, it's open world versus not. But I think that the real truth is, I mean, I just used the word, I think you have to abstract really heavily. I think the more you abstract, the more you hint at things that are off screen, the better. The game, like, I find it, I talked in the LP just this week about the notion of a Char army attacking Ebonhawk through the mountains, leaving from the Black Citadel. And as I spoke it, as I gave sound to the thoughts, I realized I can't really imagine an army coming out of the Black Citadel. And you might say, that's kind of weird, WP, why can't you? I mean, I can imagine Char marching out of it down that ramp and stuff, but I'm thinking about very real specific places and sizes, and you know, the size of a Char model in that area, and it's all very refined and small, and it's like, well, where would the Char come from? And it's like, and what you realize is, because there's not much abstract about the Black Citadel, we get to explore every inch of the Black Citadel. We get to go pretty much all the way around its perimeter, and we know that very well in very real solid terms where the entrance and exits are. However, when you take other franchises, when you look at like something like Final Fantasy 12 and like Rabanasta, the way that the devs of that game portion off sections of what is explorable and hint that there's lots between those portions, and they give you the CGI cutscenes showing you areas you could never explore. Rabanasta feels fucking huge, and I can easily imagine the Empire attacking Damascans there, or a Damascan resistance rising up under Lowtown. I can imagine Lowtown being this enormous place that everyone's just been thrown into, and it's because a lot gets abstracted. And I think that really good in terms of world building in games, it's not about the world building itself, it's not about the mass of information you've thrown at it. Yeah, you can do beautiful things like ArenaNet did here with an Empire Divided, and you can have that beautiful bedrock, and you can think really deeply about stuff, and oh, this means blue moon and blah blah blah, and what the gardens do. You can do that, but it really comes down to the design and the presentation of the area itself, and very specific little things, just to abstract, just put that little wall there and allow people's imaginations to fill in the gaps. In the same way that books are so much more immersive than films are, games need to pay very close respect to that. That's why, as well, you can see a loss of immersion as the Elder Scrolls series progresses through the years. It's because as they open up and try and give you absolutely everything, which is what the community clamours for and thinks good, I think there's actually a lot more that you lose as that goes along. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I believe a lot in abstracting stuff, as I said. And Guild Wars 1 kind of works because it sort of does that same thing. We get this whole map, but we never really get to explore a lot of it, and between the cracks of a lot of it. And, you know, like up here, we can imagine that there's more Xingji and stuff. You know, it's a topic that comes up in a lot of my streams, but maybe I'll put another little twist on it that makes it interesting there. Why is there a miniature Abyssal just on the floor here? That's not mine, is it? No. This guy dedicated the whole monuments. I'll pick it up. By the way, some of the roaring we've heard, the sound effects, is because of me double-clicking this, and the minis actually make noise. I mean, some minis make noise in Guild Wars 2 also, so I don't know why I put that tone on it. But yeah, okay. You look like a capable adventurous sort. Perhaps I can entice you to escort me to the Eyrie. The Angchu Tengu no doubt await my arrival. We're not going to do that. Again, this is not a comprehensive series. Let's keep going. Yeah, Sergeant212 says, I think Guild Wars 1 did a good job making Kaining setting feel massive. Again, it's because you don't get the full picture of Kaining. You don't get to go into all those houses. They specifically jumble the art style to give the illusion that things are bigger. There's a lot of places you can't jump and climb around on in Guild Wars 1. That just makes Kaining feel bigger. There are areas depicted on the world map that you don't get to explore at all, and it makes it feel bigger. You know, look at how far this all extends down here. That allows so much breathing room for just excitement and enthusiasm in this world. And it's not about the quality of the backstory of Kaining at all. It's about the presentation in the game. So I think it's a really tricky thing, you know. I see people talking about writing for video games and stuff, and sure, you can talk about the craft of writing itself, but you know, it's the design of the game is such a huge, vast part of whether your game will be successful and capture the enthusiasms and imagination of your audience. It's just huge. The that I don't think you can just talk about literature and how we put that into the game. That we don't just talk about text delivery devices. I mean, to an extent we do, but it's so much more than that. Like, I look at I'm really enthusiastic about the Guild Wars 2 Let's Play right now. Like, I'm really happy. I've done a lot of prep on stuff upcoming, and we're at a really exciting place. We're about to get back to Claw Island. You know, and I'm looking at stuff like the Claw Island instance and Retribution, where you take it back and stuff. And a lot of it is pretty good, and I just keep looking at it, and I think the designers have let these writers down. They've let Jeff Grubb, they've let Reed down, they let all these people down that worked on this stuff because it didn't get the time for gameplay that it needed. And like, it's just little things like that, you know. You can't pin it all on one person, and certainly not just the writing crew. The best video game writers are video game players. If you call yourself a video game writer but you don't really play many games, I don't think you have much perspective, unfortunately, for how it really works. It's such a special, like, I just want more money to be in gaming, really, so that people can feel really proud and intense work ethic and talents and passions can keep going for the stuff I'm interested in about games. Instead of it all just becoming kind of junk foody, pick up and play, PvP oriented stuff, which is competitive and fun in its own right, but that's not what keeps me up at night. In a good way, I mean the games that really capture me and I'm thinking about when I close my eyes and I'm drifting off to Never Never Land. You play female and your armor is completely pink. Are you gay? I'm disappointed in you, Diet Pret. You've painted yourself as a bit of a dickhead. Ruffle, wow, I forgot WP was streaming today. I missed most of it. Oh, I'm sorry, dudes. I mean, you haven't missed much really. Standard stuff. Ranting about concepts I don't understand. Bashing MMOs. Acting like a cut above a know-it-all. WP, all of your sensibilities in world building and game design I employ in D&D. When you get the right people, it's so wonderfully rewarding. The world becomes real. I can imagine. I really can. I've said it before. D&D is like, I can tell. There's an alternate reality where I got some mate at college who just got me into D&D, and Christ knows how. Because I can feel that there's certain things out there that I would just completely fall head over heels in obsessive love with. I could just feel that they're there. And I've just kept them at arm's length and not quite understood them, or not quite had that flashpoint where it's worked out. And D&D is one of those things. Easily one of those things. I just want to say thank you for doing this stream. It caused me to get a new account and start Prophecies. Got in touch with Guild Wars 1 streamers to play with, having a great time. So cheers, dude. Cherry Tunes, that's awesome, man. That is super cool. I'm really glad. All right. Now is not the time for talking. Oh, we got a huge army coming at us. Are they all going to be afflicted? They are. All right. Here, this is good, right? Because we can defend. We can precast our spirits. So, and I'm going to spread them out just a little bit. We'll put Union back as well. And then we can cast our skill 6 to heal. It's a self-heal, but it's a spirit heal, which is kind of funny. Which we don't really need much of. I guess I'll just use Inferior Blood for now. I really like this combo, guys, of using sacrifice-oriented energy spells after we've drained our magic, our MP. Energy, I guess, is the correct term. I think my spirit's out of range. We push forward quite a bit here. Look at this Ellie wrecking hell as well. Forgotten trinket box worth 12 gold. Like, another good example of this whole body of work, amount of writing that exists, and how it can pay off or not. Path of Fire has got a lot of really good flavor text on a lot of great items. But think about how much that's impacted your experience of playing Path of Fire. Probably not that much. Why? Because of the way the itemization works, because of the way the incentive to go back and do that stuff works, the one-time ever nature of them because of account binding, and tying them to certain collections. So then ask yourself how much value you get from it. It's so good to see you, McPoop Butt. Master Togo sent word that help was coming, and here you are. You've arrived just in time. Master Tengu sent word that he wants to speak with you when you are finished here. He asked that you meet him back at the monastery in the Linnock Courtyard. Here we go. We're going up to 6-man areas now, guys. I hope by the time we get to 8-man parties, there will still be enough people watching the streams that we can fill them up. I hope. Because there was all that enthusiasm on episode 1. And we could only have 4 people. Right. Brilliant. Let's go back to Xingji. Oh, wait. Let's resign. Let these guys stay. Would I like some XP scrolls? Not yet. No, I think we're doing fine. I'm happy to get to the city at like level 16 if that's what it takes, which will be around the level. I think if we only do primary quests and really just Beesline, we'll be like level 14 or 15 when we get to Kaineng, which will mean I need a bit of carrying, but I'm okay with that. I kind of like the idea of the leveling phase, if you will, continuing even through the city itself. So we're back at Ranmusu. Let's see if there were any new skills here. Oh, that guy's partying, moving us already. Was there a skill trainer? Oh, yeah, there is. There is a skill trainer here. I'm going to take us all back. Oh, no, I'm just going to leave the party. What level people do you accept? Anyone, the people who are closest level to me get in. All right, yeah, look, we got some new skills here. What were we again? We are channeling and communing. So channeling, there's nothing new, but communing, there's 2. There's Mighty was Verizon. Verizon. Hold his ashes for up to 36 seconds. While you hold them, get plus 30 max energy. Hell yeah, I'll take that. That's awesome. Is that scaling? That's not scaling with attribute investment. That's crazy, though. I'll take an extra 30 energy. That means we can start going a bit heavier on the 25. And for 22 seconds, our spirits take 50% less damage and are immune to crits. Armor of Unfeeling is a great skill. It might not be too relevant just yet for us, though. But later in the game, we might find we use that up. Suffering is our new curses skill, which just spreads degen on everyone, but it's a high energy investment. So, oh, I forgot that we could be casting this. So I'm going to get rid of Spirit Boon Strike and pick up Mighty was Verizon. So it's plus 30 energy, but you have to understand, while holding the bundle, we do unequip these, I think, which means we lose 7 energy. So in total, it's plus 23, which is still pretty good. And the armor on top, so whatever, we'll do it. We also get weapon synergies unlocking later. Or item synergies. Okay, good. And this, whoever it is that owns this party, you are on the ball, but really, really on the ball. You're doing very well. Get me in straight away. Jules says, I will say, converse to the conversation earlier. D&D with the wrong people is some of the most awful garbage. I'm about to go on a D&D run by a guy that does not get how to do world building and puts practically no effort into his game. But for people like that, they should use a preset, right? That's the idea. Yeah, I have played. I don't want to be too offensive to the people that were associated with it and stuff. I have played D&D before. It didn't really capture me, but I can tell it was the vibe of the way the people I was playing with were playing, and the way that the DM I was playing with was DMing, and it just didn't quite gel, and it got very boring to me. But I know that that was not a good, well, for me, a great D&D experience. It's one of those things, like so many things in life, it's quite a high bar for a casual to get into. I'm a casual, right? Like I'm a nobody, I'm a complete nothing. So you gotta find a way, you gotta hope you've got the opportunity to climb over that, and then if you do, then well done. I like the idea. You know, I don't imagine myself as a father in any way, or I don't really think about having kids. However, I like the idea that if I were ever to become a family man, having like D&D nights, you know, like that late 90s idea of, oh, we need to have family time and spend time together. And people just sit about bored, not knowing what to do. Man, do D&D nights. Family D&D nights. Can you imagine how good that is? I would have the nerdiest offspring. It would be amazing. Now, those are some memories. I'm glad to hear you are able to warn the Angchu Tengu and help them drive off the plague creatures assaulting the village. I expected no less from you, Makapupabat. Although I'm loath to place my students in the way of danger, I can find the current crisis leaves me little choice. I have sent Yijo Tan into the fray. I hope I can continue to count on you as well. Makapupabat, I have yet another favor to ask of you. I believe we have narrowed down the source of the plague to the eastern side of the island. I've sent most of the instructors and students there to investigate, and I would like you to join them.
Speak with guard Tsukaro about traveling to Saitang Harbor. He knows of a hidden path that will get you there quickly. Brother P1 is waiting. So look, listen to this. This is abstracted here. A hidden path that will get you there quickly. We only ever see the hidden path that gets us there quickly. Now, if we think quite deeply and carefully, and we know very much exactly how the monastery overlook works, if we use Soteria 3D and all that kind of stuff, we kind of know there is only one entrance in terms of the engine, but the story that widens the scope by talking about things that are not immediately present. Your family has Gwent nights. You actually talk to your family now. That's cool, man. So yeah, guard Tsukaro. Hoping to see the eastern side of the island, were you? Well, you are not the first ambitious student to seek glory by fighting the dangerous creatures there, but even many of those who went there fully prepared never returned. Let that be a warning to you. Did you have some more questions for me? The road less traveled. I must warn you, the eastern side of Xingji is more perilous. Are you sure you're fully prepared? We've been trained well. Is there anything else I can help you with? I kind of want to express something here at this point in the story. There's a lot of content to the left of the island that we've really kind of glossed over. Well then, let us not keep Brother P1 waiting. He gets cranky. How have my world building projects turned out? Terribly, not for a lack of enthusiasm or imagination or possibly talent. I might have a little bit for it, I don't know. But simply because of time management. But I have been expecting you. Many of the instructors have pushed ahead. At the jump of this plague, we must hurry to the eastern side. We may just catch up with the rest of the headmasters and stay one step ahead of this mysterious affliction. And to be clear, to be very fair, as an adult, there's been one big time where I really pushed and cared for something like that, and it was a period of time that lasted maybe half a year, maybe the majority of a year, and I've never gone back to it. I still have all the stuff. What I actually ended up struggling with was organizational issues. In terms of, like, you'll get to a point, it depends on your style and what you're doing, and I'd like to be clear as well that just because you have enthusiasm and excitement for building a fake world, and imagining a fake fantasy world and trying to put it to paper and so on, it's to your avenue of presenting it, whether that be a machinima, a movie, a book, a D&D campaign, whatever. The real talent in human beings is at that stage. It's how you actually present it to people. You can write facts about a fake world till you're blue in the face. It's actually not that hard. I don't think, anyway. It doesn't take that much creativity, that much imagination. Just don't get obsessed with trying to avoid cliches and just do what you're passionate about. It's not that bad. It's the talent of taking something and making it, presenting it in a way that will capture everyone. That's where true talent lies. So I don't really respect it that much. Especially not the level I was doing it. But yeah, I was running into organizational issues, and that just, you go deep enough, you add enough detail and flesh something out enough, it's like, well, how do I organize this? What do I host this on? And I came to the realization that really I needed to restructure everything, and kind of what I wanted to do was host a personal wiki. I think doing it through a personal wiki, that's exactly the kind of format that I think I could really get behind. A wiki format, where you can just dive through and a page on one topic leads to links that you can turn into blue links later. That, you know, I think that way of mapping out a world is the best way, with some kind of contents page for reference so that pages and threads don't get lost. I think that's the best way to do it. But it was upon realizing that I kind of wanted to redo everything, the logistics of the thing wore me down, and probably I got enthusiastic about something on YouTube or Twitch, and I just, you know, I focused on real life for a while and never went back. As always. Yes, I totally agree that talent being the second step. The guy I mentioned earlier isn't bad at designing worlds but presenting it. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying a lot of things here today that are just really, really obvious. But I mean, really, that's something, like, if you follow world building communities online, which I do, you know, I have a multi-Reddit set up with all kinds of inspiration, imagination, world-building oriented subreddits, writing prompts, historical facts, and things, you know, just stuff that feeds through world-building subreddit itself and some of its sister subreddits. When you look at these communities closely, you find people get really lost and really deep
but only in that side of it, in the creation and the documenting. And that's fun, and I would never judge someone for a hobby they do, but it does lead them to a lot of cul-de-sacs where it's like, well, what meaningful can we get out of this endeavor now? And there's not much you can do. There's a bit of a pox. That whole cliche thing is a bit of a pox. There's a lot of really exciting things that people will just try to eliminate from their own worlds and ignore because, oh, that's been done before. You know, if something's been done before, if it's a cliche, if it's a trope, quite often it's for good reason. If it captures your excitement, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Package it in your own way, and people will believe it. Nobody cares about cliches as much as the people in those communities and yourself will. I promise. You can make any tired cliche amazing if you just package it in the right way. What am I talking about? This is one of those streams, guys. You've got me proper full-on rambling here. Check it out. So somebody kneeled at the Grenth statue, and the voice of Grenth has come out. People seek the aid of Grenth for many reasons. Do you dedicate this offering to one in particular? So we can pay him to get buffs. There's no point because we're about to leave the instance, but he'll give us like Favor of the Gods, 2% morale boost, Unnatural Resistance to reduce our condi duration. It's interesting seeing the balance of these. And especially mapping them to Guild Wars 2. Like, that's huge. Can you imagine if that being in Guild Wars 2? That's so OP for Guild Wars 2. Here's a thing, a whole side of the game and Buildcraft Guild Wars 2 has never done well, which is Lifesteal. You can get the Dark Aura, Necromancer of Grenth. Depending on the god and the thing that the avatar that comes to you, it changes the pool that you can select from. That's a Reaper as well. That as a voice of Grenth. This is what the Reapers look like in Guild Wars 1. Very different to the Lich style ones you find in the Hall of Chains in Guild Wars 2. Almost forgot the name of the raid there. Alright, here we go. Yeah, Guild Wars 2, they give you boons and conditions, Cottage, but I think it's just sort of a developer nod. I'm not sure whether we should think of that in scope of story, maybe. Brother P1.
If only I had the master, Amara, were the master of the monastery, then I would receive the respect I deserve. Now take this so I can go home.
So, he just mentioned the headmaster. If you now have a look, we are at 6-man teams. There's lots of all these dots up here. They're all people running around. And if you look at the henchmen as we travel forward now, they're no longer other students like Taya and stuff, and they're all a little bit scared. Stuff's heating up. Things are getting spicy. And oh no, Taya is here. And Asen. Okay, never mind. I'm wrong. Maybe it's the next instance of that change. It's still the students. Eventually it becomes the headmasters and stuff though. They start becoming the thing. I must be confused because there's a side quest here. Yeah, Mai Ling here. She has a quest and you learn more about the headmasters and stuff at this point. I thought they were full-on henchmen, but I'm wrong. Yeah, you learn about... because she has a wedding with someone, which you eventually get through Winds of Change. Sorry about the spoilers. A shame you're not a Methma, so you will not have the opportunity to trade with Headmaster Carr. He is wise beyond his years and more powerful than most people realize. Now, there's a lot of little side stories going on in factions. If you really slowly go through it, you can get to know each of these different NPCs. And there's so many henchmen in this one. There are so many. And they all have their different trajectories through the continent, through the region as we travel along. Kind of great stuff. But here we go. Saitang Harbour. The largest and arguably most important port in Cantha. Saitang Harbour is the point of entry for most outsiders. Ships travelling to distant Tyria and the far-flung Battle Isles depart from Saitang Harbour with dizzying regularity, while traffic from those distant lands arrives with equal frequency. Canthans with little spare time often say they are busy as a Saitang Harbour master, at least in polite company. Now, I never talked about this when I did the LP. Maybe it never occurred to me back then. But doesn't this read like, up until the last couple of months, maybe, the devs were planning on having Saitang Harbour be the moments that Guild Wars Prophecies characters arrived? Doesn't it feel like that a little bit to you guys? I wonder if early design concepts basically had this area, the start of the starter area, this whole section, this would get you from 1 to 20. And then from here, they were going to go really big dick on it. But they realized, okay, no, it's too fast. It's too much. It doesn't work. Let's just have the whole island. Because think about the story as well. The whole idea that a missive is sent about the afflicted, which have just become known and stuff, and then they move down. That's kind of those big story reveals. All the pieces for the chessboard to be at that place are now there. They've moved. But by the time the game came out, and that's what this harbour seems to be referencing, it's not actually the point that people first arrive in Cantha. It's not the busiest port in Cantha. It actually all happens up here in the end. So that's what I'm wondering now, whether that was like a little bit of a change at the end. And instead we do Zendaijin first before. Like, I can just imagine that the devs didn't want the core Tyrian characters to miss out on much story at all. So maybe they're like, look, we'll just have them miss out on the first instance and a bit of a leveling area. And then we'll go on. And they probably struggled and cared a lot about that when it came to Nightfall later too. Which fed into Utopia, and in the end, like, fuck these tutorials. We don't like this. We don't like creating this stuff that people are just going to have to skip anyway. And Guild Wars 2 was born, and the whole expansions only, not campaigns thing, because the business model wasn't working at that point, and so on. I don't know. There's just a lot of speculation stacked on top of speculation. But from where I'm sitting right now, oh my god, there's a beetle on us. He's a god walking amongst immortals too. That's kind of what it feels like. Look at the level spread of these people. Level 11, level 10, 20. Of course, these won't just be noobs here, because once Wind of Change came out, there's lots of reason to come back here, even as a max level character. Here we find a Kirin up at a shrine, and there's a locked door into a very far away instance as well, which we don't unlock until way later. But here is a Kirin. I am the guardian of Zendaijin. Look at his eyes. I have watched over this valley, keeping it and its inhabitants safe from harm. But lately a sickness has come to my valley, and my attempts to contain it have weakened me. Yet, I will suffer 100 deaths before I allow this sacred place to become corrupted. I'll be on my way. More on that later. The Kirin are one of the really fascinating fauna in this area of the world. It seems very thin there, Jesus. I think, obviously, this is a real-world fantasy concept. They're like fish unicorns, I guess, right? Let me Google. I mean, what specific folklore and interpretation is there's gonna be a lot of different ones. Let's see, a Kirin. The first link is for Monster Hunter World, which just came out and everyone's playing, so Google's listening to that. It's also a town in Croatia. A mythical creature known to East Asia. A mythical hooved chimerical creature known in Chinese and other East Asian cultures, said to appear with the imminent arrival or passing of a sage or illustrious ruler. Oh, that's cool. From the context of factions and Cantha, this creature has just appeared. And in real life, it is said to appear with the imminent arrival or passing of a sage or illustrious ruler. So, no spoilers, but in the context of this story, I kind of like that we get the Kirin introduced as a player base at this point. Yeah, and then the wiki page is huge. I'm not going to read a whole wiki page. You guys can look up Kirin if you like. Yeah, that is... You're okay for it. No, I just got a host. We're going to be going offline in a second. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much for the host. That's very sweet of you, AKCSL, and all your viewers. I'm just going to pass you straight on to another Guild Wars 1 stream, like, in a second here, really. There's a guy... Guild Wars 1, Blast from the Past. He's got 0 viewers, and we'll do that. But yeah, so that is going to be it, unfortunately, guys. There's a question here. Going back to world building for a second, to be honest, you could probably find collaborators to help structure or build the world, as long as you get those people invested in the world and explain why you find... Yeah, I mean, when you do that, though, I feel like, I don't know, I might just be an untrusting person, but one of the big problems with me is, in terms of collaboration, I don't trust that other people love stuff to the same degree that I do, or understand stuff, or appreciate the same value in whatever it is that I do. I really don't trust it. And it's not that I judge other people for it. I just think that the odds of our passions being perfectly aligned are very off. And probably quite wrongly, but that scares me. And I'm like, oh, you know, I couldn't do a collaboration on something like this. I couldn't share my baby and allow someone else to twist and work here. So I have immense respect for people who are able to do that, which at the end of the day, it is you know, the backbone of most products you find. You have to be able to share your baby. There's a lot we could talk about this. Elder Scrolls in particular had a very interesting situation where its writers essentially tried to open the door to even the fans and say, listen, what you write about Tamriel is legitimate. There was a word for it. And even a novel to do with one of the moons and stuff all built around it. It's kind of interesting. who owns the vision for it. And I would be very jealous and covetous, and I would hoard my baby. So the idea would be you'd have to create it with someone else right at the outset. You know, like what Jeff Grubb did. He came to Guild Wars after Factions and stuff was done. He stepped into it, you know. Jessica Price has been all the Raven, all the talk radio. That's a human being who came and stepped into this. How much do we trust that they can truly absorb themselves in it? And that's their talent, you know. That's the talent of Jeff, to be able to do that. It's not just creating worlds. It's being able to really get to the nub of what's great about them and continue their legacies, even if you didn't found them. And that's being a professional. And that's something I would very much lack. D&D is a much easier avenue to present a world for obvious reasons. If you ever run a game, I'd love to see it. Yeah, I mean, it's time. I'm not saying anything. I'm a very, very, very slim chance you'll ever see me do. Unless I can radically find a way to speed up the way I edit, make videos. If I can find a way to level up my ability in this trade to get more free time, to like double the time in the day, I would pursue projects like that. But as it stands right now, I spend nearly all day, most days, working on the LP. They've just become so big and complicated and crazy. I like to try and get 3 different production blocks per day. I'm only getting 2 at the moment. Like today, I've worked on the LP all day, and now I'm doing this stream. That's it. I wanted to do a middle block, the audiobooks, but I keep running out of time. Anyway, speaking of that, it will be live in just a second. That's weird to hear, considering you kind of did collaborate on the super edits. I don't know if you see Twitch stuff. Oh no, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that form. I'm not talking about all collaboration full stop. No. I'm talking about specifically when we're talking about the creation of an intellectual property or on that side of things. I'm not talking about all collaborations I would find impossible. No. Obviously, I'm open to that. I appreciate that you have a talent for a style of editing and stuff that I don't have, and people have time that I don't have. Like, here's another good example. A few streams back, I was talking about the Guild Wars 1 skills when I realized these high-resolution icons existed, if you guys remember. And I was talking about how I wanted to make, and was in the process of learning Photoshop, and I was trying to make a giant canvas image that built all of the all 1,200 and whatever Guild Wars 1 skills into an enormous skill tree, sphere grid, PoE style, big sphere tree. And as you followed the lines of progression through the sphere tree, it would take you through the different attributes and where you acquired them in the campaign. So it was this beautiful idea I've got in my head, and it was going to be set to the backdrop of Lord Audrin's map of the Mist and the All and the Anti-Kythera mechanism. Like, it's going to be beautiful, and I've got that idea in my head. I don't have the time to make that. I would be open to commissioning an artist if they could sit there for like the 3 hours it would take for me to describe this perfect thing. I'm open to collaborations on that kind of stuff because people already have the know-how and the understanding and the time to do stuff like that. It's not all collaborations. It's just that idea of I don't know, coveting your own creation. The only way would be hiring an editor. I wouldn't ever hire an editor, I don't think. Not with my formats and stuff. You gotta understand, the past 5 years, nearly everything I've done to be better at my job is not about... Most people... I'm not trying to be judgmental here. Most people fall into a trap. If they're trying to be a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer or something, they fall into a trap of they think they need all like these fancy things. How do I... Efficiency is king to me. Everything I've learned, everything I dedicate my learning to and getting better, it's all renewable stuff. It's stuff that does not increase the workload. It's about getting more out of less. That's what it's about for me, which sounds really scummy and horrible and bereft of passion, but that is what I really believe in. It's about finding the most efficient ways to go through, improving keybinds, building scripts, stuff like that to just speed shit up and unlock more time to put out more quantity. That's what I believe in. That's what I focus on. So if I were to hire an editor, I would just be throwing all of that away. All my workflows, everything, I'd just be thrown away. Years of just slowly building up and honing my craft. That's, if I pride myself on anything, it's that side of stuff, which is very nondescript and difficult to talk about and is not immediately evident in any streams and things. Because the bar of quality of what I produce doesn't really vary very much. But, yeah, so I don't think I'd ever hire an editor. This is getting way off topic. What are we talking about here? I gotta go, guys. Why is someone trading with me? Thank you for this shadow stuff. That is really cool. I will not accept that just yet, though. We've got many more levels to go still, fun items and stuff. We're actually halfway to max, guys. Whoa, crazy, I know. We're like a couple of hours into the game and we're halfway to max. You guys have got some really cool chat and stuff. We all keep this frame of mind? Can we hold this thought and come back tomorrow? That would be nice. It's good to see you, Nike. Nike, if you're about to go live, I will host you instead. But you got to go now. If you do, I'll host you and people can go over there. If not, we'll go to this poor guy with 0 viewers. I remember the first time I came across the Nobles event in Verdant Brink, seeing Farron in his jungle wear and Master Bongo the One-Eyed. Loved that. I don't know how the chat conversation got there, but there you go. All right, guys. I'll probably scroll up through the VOD as well in a second. Okay, Nike says, sorry, he's not going to stream. He's working on a video. No worries. All right, guys. So we're going to host this guy. He's got no one watching him. He's playing Guild Wars 1. He's got a face cam. He clearly cares about what he's doing. So, yeah, let's give him a party. Cheers, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow, same time. You can click the follow button. You can join us in Discord. Just click the link in chat. You don't need an account. You don't need to download or install anything. And you can be here tomorrow when we're back. Same, more stuff. We'll hopefully make more progress as well. Could get off the starter island. We'll see. More voting on builds. Blah, 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 blah. See you next time, guys.